Perfect Balance Healthcare presents Lick, Stick, and More with your host, Dr. Nandita Koodie. Join me to explore the minds of thought leaders as they share golden nuggets on the impact of faith integration in practice, professional development tips, and innovative solutions to bring you beyond ordinary healthcare. Hey guys, so I'm a busy pharma mom, but I really like creative writing and I'm thinking about starting a book and writing a book, but I don't want to use my usual method of writing everything on paper. I really do like physically writing more than typing. I just feel those creative juices better when I'm comfortable and I'm actually physically writing. But I was just kind of exploring what the best technology is that's out there for conversion of handwritten text to electronic utilization. So maybe if I write something and I can convert it to text format to where it's easy to then transfer into a manuscript for a book. So I looked into iPad and using the Apple Pencil versus another thing that you might have seen advertised on Facebook called reMarkable. And apparently there's a second version that came out called reMarkable 2. I am not in any way, shape, or form working with that company, but I just wanted to share with you what it looks like and the unboxing of it in case it's something that might interest you. I didn't want to go into buying a whole iPad just for the software to do note-taking and having it converted to text. So this is a tablet that is designed specifically for what I'm looking for, and it was a fraction of the price. It actually cost me, I think, close to $700 after shipping from Norway. This package actually says China on it, so it was shipped from China. And there's two different markers, they call it. The stylus or the pen is called a marker, but it's not really a marker. You can actually select on the device how thick you want your font to be when you're writing. But there's two different ones and they're just different weights and colors. And I got the one that was a little bit heavier and like an aluminum type finish. So I'm just going to open that first. It comes in a package like this that I mutilated. I would get yelled at for that in my house. And it has this really nice thing called reMarkable on it. And there you have it. And the claim to fame for this particular stylus is that it has a more precise point than the Apple Pencil does, so it allows for more accurate conversion of your print to text. The cheaper one of this is a lighter color and it's lighter weighted, so I guess it's personal preference, but I figured since I was investing so much and I might as well go all out. So I was one of those stupid people that went and bought and fell into getting the book folio, the cover for it, when I could have probably got it for a fraction of the price and something more to my taste on Etsy. But I figured that out after I had already purchased it, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to support the makers of the actual device because I think it is an amazing solution, and so they deserve it. So this is the folio that I got. It's the cheapest of 3 options, I believe. And it's a really thin device. It actually has a claim of being like the thinnest tablet. But this is kind of cool. I like the gray. I guess I just like gray, but they have like a leather one as well. And so what makes this tablet special in their claim is that it's like better paper, better thinking. So it's a better alternative to paper because you can actually save it better. And it has a feature where you can email what you wrote to yourself. I didn't do a ton of research on it. I kind of want to see if it has the functionality of being able to remember what you wrote without it just being like an etch and sketch. And I know it does have that ability, but for you to review documents, and I'm also curious to see if you can upload a document to it that you can mark up, like notes that you might have taken or a document that somebody sent you, and then be able to mark it up and send it back to them, like doing revisions and stuff like that. So we'll see. I'll play with it for a week and I'll let you know how that goes and what were some of my struggles aside from unboxing. Because I'm obviously not good at taking stickers off. I'm used to putting them on for a career. So anywho, this is the box that it comes in. And this is so cute. There's like a welcome thing in here congratulating me on my purchase. I'm not going to read it in case you want to have that lovely experience on your own. And it's got this really nice paper on it. Really cool feeling. And here it is. It really is extremely thin. Oh, it's so cool. And there's these little like feet on it so it doesn't you're not putting it directly on a surface, which is kind of cool. I didn't even know it had that. And the power button is up here. It says on it, hold to get started. So I would love to do that. And you do that and it blanks the screen out and it takes away the message that it had for you. And it just says that it's starting. So apparently it has the feel of paper, which obviously it's not going to be the same feel as paper, but it doesn't have that tapping on the glass that you get with an iPad. So that's kind of why I wanted this one in particular too, because if I'm on a call or something, I don't want to be annoying, or if I'm in a conference room, I don't want to be annoying. This is the charger, comes with it. USB cable, it's a C port. So yeah, it does not come with the standard marker, so you do have to select one or the other. The folio that I bought was $99, but the leather one is like $149. And so it says here, it welcomes you to reMarkable and it encourages you to express yourself by just writing and scribbling below. So I'm just gonna write, I love you. And you can see it's like, it's actually exactly the same as my writing. It didn't like, it's not bigger. It wasn't delayed, really. I don't know if you can see, it's like happening instantly, and it's pretty dark and it looks like pencil markings. But this is the second version. I'm not sure what the differences are between the first and the second, but you can refresh your screen. So you can have and you can do the setup, and so it connects to Wi-Fi so that you can email your notes to yourself. And that was really cool. It picked up all of my different Wi-Fi, my printer, everything is on here on the canvas display. So I'm gonna get to it with setting this thing up. I'm so excited because this is gonna make note-taking during meetings so much easier for me to share out to my collaborators and for me to really get started with my book, which I'm so excited now to do now that I have my nifty toy, and I will let you guys know. Yeah, so I placed my order for reMarkable directly from the manufacturer out of Norway. I actually couldn't find it being resold by anyone like Best Buy or Amazon or anything like that. I found eBay where people were selling their used ones, but I ended up just buying mine straight from the source. I figured I just wanted to support them anyways directly and see what that experience would be like from them. And they sent it via DHL. I bought it about a week ago. I wasn't really expecting it for a whole nother month because that's what the people were saying in their reviews from reMarkable one. But it looks like they set up shipment centers in different parts of the world. And I got mine in a little less than a week, I think it was. And it came direct to my door. They had an option that you can get through a text message for you to say if you didn't want to have someone sign for it, because I was at work when it came through. So I was, I didn't want it to get turned around or held at a fulfillment center or something. So I ended up just opting for it to get left at the door. And yeah, it was here in no time. I got a notice right away when it was delivered. It was awesome. Shipping was awesome. Hey y'all, I just got home from church. I've been using my reMarkable to everywhere, even to church. It's been a lifesaver for me. It's nice to have all of my notes in one place. I'm no longer carrying a bunch of books around, so I highly recommend it. It's been alive for a couple weeks now. I charge it like after the first week of use just in case. I didn't want it to die on me in the middle of a meeting or something, but I haven't charged in a couple of weeks just because I've been so busy and I haven't remembered to, and it's still alive. So that's phenomenal. Highly recommend it. If you're interested in getting one and you want $40 off your purchase, you can just select the link in the description of the video and you can save that $40. I earned the $40. It's a win-win for both of us if you do, and you can share it out to your friends. Your own referral code, after about a month, they send you one that you can share out to people who might see your tablet and say, hey, I want one. Where did you get it? So I'm going to show you really quickly how the folio works. And so you just slip it in and boom, it connects magnetically. It's pretty cool. I'm actually afraid to do this. Is it really gonna stick? It's pretty cool. It's magnetic. Super thin. Okay, I think I got it. I guess it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out because I did, so. I can't wait to get to use it so I can see all of its features, but I will share with you more over the week. So the team did a really good job of creating content to really walk you through how to use this device and how to access all of your files. It does have the capability of remembering what you wrote and for you to be able to access it at a later time, email it out to yourself, view different lists that you might have created, and PDFs and ebooks that you might want to write up and things of that nature. So that's pretty cool. So real quick, this is what it says when it's in sleep mode. It says it's sleeping. How cute is that? Please excuse screaming child in the background. There's only one clickable button on the whole device, like physical button, and it's the power button or sleep button. There's several different options for pen type. I'm not going to go through all of them, but there's a fine liner, like a kind of like a Sharpie pen, which is actually my favorite type of pen. The marker is one that's actually pressure sensitive for broader or thicker strokes. Pencil is kind of like a regular pencil used for sketching. It is pressure sensitive as well. Mechanical pencil is more even lines, but a little separated in the pixels to where it's very pencil-like. The paintbrush is also pressure sensitive, which is kind of cool. And you can change the thickness of the lines too. You can do gray or white as well, which is kind of cool. If you wanted it to look more pencil-like. And then highlighter is good for the ebooks. I'm excited to use that. It's kind of sparkly, which is cool. And then it fades out and you can change the color, I would imagine, of that as well. I think I was already on the color thing, so I didn't change that. I guess you can't change the highlighter color. So some of the tools are more pressure sensitive than others. The marker tool and the paintbrush tool have pressure sensitivity, and when you first open it, it actually tells you the difference between which ones have tilt associated, which ones have pressure sensitivity, and all of that. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think the paintbrush might be the easiest to write with at times. I actually prefer black than gray. The gray just kind of looks pencil-y. So if I wanted to go over it, you can see the difference there. If I didn't like the way that that turned out, I can just undo it. Yeah, that's nice, sort of. So yeah, you can actually take this now and email it or convert it to text. And let's see how well it understands. Yeah, it doesn't understand my creative art, but it got a lot of the letters. It got the A, P, H, I, N, A. And so if you're really careful with your scripting, that's pretty good for something so crazy. If I wanted to erase this whole page, and actually write out her name neatly. I got her whole name, but you have some of the spacing may be off. So I guess it takes practice with trying to figure out what pen is best for your writing style and converts best for you. I guess I can try it again and see if it registers better with a different tool. Maybe the marker tool seems to be the smoothest to write with. You can use the eraser, actually works as well, which is kind of cool. And if you keep the letters evenly spaced, it should pick up the spacing correctly. Convert to text. There. Oh, it missed the A. See, so that's a little bit of concern because that was pretty clear to me. I did connect my N and A, so it has trouble understanding letters that are connected like that. So that seems to be a little bit of a concern for me because I might be taking notes a little bit quicker than that. And I don't want to have to take up this much space for it to be able to register. It still didn't get that this was one word. It's so disappointing. It makes you feel guilty for choosing that name for your child. So if I wanted to create a list, and I wanted to convert it to text. It kind of got it. It put the title in the same line as number 1 and made it a Roman numeral, and then put bullet points and numbers, which is very strange. But if the list was super long, it would be easier for me to go in and edit this from the email if I really had to, but at least it's a way to get my ideas converted to text pretty easily and email to myself, because I do prefer to write. But I wonder what I would have to do if putting a line there, if certain symbols and gestures help to, with the algorithm, with trying to figure out where you're starting things. I don't know. I don't know. I will have to, yeah, that actually works. So underlining, the underline didn't follow though, there. But it did separate 1, 2, 3 correctly when I indicated that there was a difference in the title and the list. This is cool. I wasn't expecting that keyboard to pop up. But there's a cursor here, so if I wanted to add something, like in the back yard, because I already did the front yard or something, I could actually just type that in. Or I could type the whole time if I really wanted to, which is pretty cool. So what I really like is there's different types of templates that you can use. There's dots if you do like bullet journaling, or if there's just dots at the bottom or dots at the top, different grids. Different types of lined paper. If you want like regular college rule paper or legal paper, you can have that too. And I think this might be useful too for the algorithm, for it being able to tell what is being written on what line, This looks exactly like paper. I'm shocked. Actually, the first word that came to mind is that's quite remarkable. So it's well titled. So if I wanted to write here, not that I would use college roll paper for a grocery list, I could. Let's see if it takes boxes as bullets. If I wanted to convert this. It did not. It did not figure out the title. It did not figure out what line it was on. It was like having lines on the page was pointless. So I'm probably not going to be using the paper option because it didn't help. And my little boxes didn't register as bullets. It just thought that they were letter A's. So that's disappointing. If I erase them and I put ones instead, I think that's what the algorithm recognizes. And I don't know why I didn't get my title because I did underline it, but I will try something else. A separated underline maybe will register. And that actually came out perfect. So I can actually email this to other people and add a subject line if I wanted to. It doesn't have to go to my email. So if you're taking notes for a friend or something, you could do that. Awesome! So then if you just hold down the book for a couple of seconds, it gives you the settings. So you can duplicate it, you can favorite it. You're supposed to be able to delete it from here as well. But I have not. Oh, it said you cannot delete quick sheets, which is strange. I guess you can clear them out, but they get saved in your files and you can't delete the book. Quick sheets, it's like a permanent book that will always exist. If I wanted to create a notebook and delete that, I could, but the quick sheets will always be there, kind of like sticky notes, you know. So if I wanted to delete this one, you hold it down and then all of a sudden now you have the option to trash it, and you can undo if it was like a oops, I didn't mean to do that, that was my entire manuscript. You can pull it back real quick. So that's pretty cool. If I wanted to duplicate it, I could make a copy just in case something were to happen from the last time that I started. So I can write really fast with this and it will register, but I don't know if it's going to convert my scribbly text properly when I write that fast. So that's something that is useful to know if you're trying to stay up with a meeting or something. You maybe are on a Zoom and you're trying to take notes, but it really did collect everything that I wrote correctly. It's accurate, it's written, it's spelled correctly, it's spaced correctly. It did give it 2 separate lines, but I could always, I try to figure out how to get that notepad, how to get the the keyboard to pop back up. I have to like read some guides on this to really be able to unlock the full potential of it, but that was pretty cool. All you had to do is just double tap and the keyboard comes up and you can kind of move the cursor where you want to. So if I wanted to correct this, I just want to see if this is OCD friendly to be able to say, okay, I want to delete the space between these lines. I'm having a hard time getting the cursor to the front of the sentence to do that, but it is possible. So calligraphy I'm terrible at, but it has to do with parallel strokes. So if you are not very good at this, oh, the eraser works, by the way, which is kind of cool. You don't really have to rub as much as I did, but it kind of still shows you what was there before, which is kind of cool. It's just like a piece of paper. But I guess if you wanted it to really go away, you can use the eraser tool. And there's a way to select what you wanted to erase. And it goes away. So I can kind of see still the circle where I had selected that. But the original stroke that was there is gone by now. And so you can kind of undo what you did if you want to put it back. And I think that's why it's there. Or redo. So I'm just gonna like, my OCD's cringing. Oh no, I'm still erasing. But I can put it back. I don't know, I guess I have to practice with this thing a little bit more. Get used to switching between. I think the one that's easiest to use is probably the marker, which is ironic because that's what they named, and the pencil. It's just the smoothest to write with. I feel like medium thickness. So I hope that you found this useful. If you did, let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to do more reviews of useful tools in the future. Bye!
Thank you for listening to this episode of Lick, Stick, and More. Subscribe and follow us on YouTube and all the social media sites at Perfect Balance Healthcare, or visit us anytime at pbh.life.